Good afternoon, Dr. Steve here. If you're on the West Coast, it's still morning time. I'm doing my broadcast early today, approximately 11:30 right now, Pacific time on this Friday morning on the West Coast. I'm in West Coast Studio A this morning. You may recognize it by now. And normally I don't do the broadcast this early, but I have another hard deadline. I have a meeting today at noon Pacific time, so I'm actually going to have to limit this to 25 minutes. So we're together for the next 25 minutes. Hello, Kevin. Hello, Jane. Kevin is an artist in California. He's actually sent me one of his works of art. I'll have to get that on a future broadcast. And just a great guy. He's always contacting me with new and wonderful ideas, and I believe he's a big fan of the stock market, so he keeps me up to date on that. Hey, Kevin, good to see you. And Elsa is here. Brenda is here. Jason, hello to you. And today is just an open forum. Again, not going to address the news, even though there is a lot going on in the news. Unfortunately, there's a lot of negative news, but we're going to discuss here any questions that you may have about hypnosis or coaching or neurolinguistic programming or anything else on your mind. Even if you're a hypnotherapist who wants to know how to get yourself out there more, how to get recognized more. If you have questions about that, let me know. Hello, Jane. Angie, hello. You say, miss me on Wednesday. Caught me by accident today. All right. Well, however you get here, you get here. So that's good enough. Ulysses, hello. I am a little early today. Again, for those just joining, I have a meeting at noon Pacific time, which is a hard set time, so I will not be able to adjust that. So I'm going to have to discipline myself today on these, even though I love talking. I love talking with you guys, interacting with you, answering your questions, getting caught up with everyone. But I'm going to have to cap it at 25 minutes so that I'm on time for my meeting. That's one thing in life I've found that is definitely contributing to my success, is being on time and doing what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it. So free lesson there, and certainly something that's paid off for me. Let's see, let's catch up a little bit. If you're just joining, go ahead and like this one. Go ahead and share it, even if you've liked and shared them in the past. This is a brand new broadcast, so go ahead and like this and share this if you would. And there should be a little button up there if you're just joining for the first time. And if you're watching on Facebook, you can go ahead and subscribe so you'll be notified when I'm broadcasting in the future. This is a wonderful forum that Facebook has created for us. And of course, in answer to Periscope's similar version, which I never really got on. I was told about that. I know my friends, some of my friends really love it. My friend Bob Doyle, who is in The Secret, he absolutely loves it. I don't know if he's still using Periscope, but Periscope is wonderful. But for me, I never really got on. But now that Facebook does it, Facebook is becoming everything. You've got your email on there. You can make phone calls on here. You can do live broadcasts on here. All your friends are already connected here, so why not? It just kind of made sense. So here I am to interact with you 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, approximately 12 noon to approximately 12:30 Pacific time. I'll be on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Just a little early today because schedules happen. And let's catch up a little bit. Roman, hello. Carol, hello. Michelle, hello. Georgia, hello. Jahira, hello. And Roman says, do you have any new certification program? We have about 22 different certification programs. Most of the popular ones are available at hypnosiscertified.com. We do not have any new ones just yet. Joe Vitale and I get together once a year, usually in New York in August, so we will definitely be talking about new certification programs that we can create together. We created the Law of Attraction certification, where you can get certified as a Law of Attraction practitioner, which is wonderful because people often want to work with their clients and want to get them thinking positively, but they don't quite know how to do that. So we figured we'd get together and share our knowledge in that program. So we may add on to that. We've had a tremendous turnout for people wanting to enroll in that with good reason. So Roman, we may do that. We don't have any new ones other than that potential one. Of course, we do have, I have life coaching, business coaching, hypnosis certification, NLP, Ericksonian hypnosis certification. So I have created all of the certifications that I feel would be relevant and helpful for people, and the rest is just driven by people requesting them. Perhaps there's something that I haven't thought of, and if someone does request that and that's within my wheelhouse, and or I can bring someone else in who's also an expert. For example, with business coaching, I teamed up with Joe Rubino, a wonderful friend of mine, and for law of attraction, of course, Joe Vitale, who knows far more about it than I do. He lent his expertise to that, and we just made it an outstanding certification. So we'll keep you posted, Roman. Believe me, if you're on my email list, you already know this. We will be in touch. We will. That's one thing we're really good at, staying in touch with people on the email list. So Angel says, good evening. Good evening to you. Miss Rowley, hello to you. Michelle, so bad-mannered when people arrive late for events for no good reason. Absolutely, Michelle. So referencing to me saying that a lot of my success has to do with doing what I say I'm going to do when I say I'm going to do it. That's allowed me to get the advanced degrees that I have in education, and it just allows me to keep business running smoothly, because the last thing somebody needs is wondering if you're going to show up to something. So I found that it works very well in television. You have to be on time, and in academics, and of course in business. So a little freebie life lesson for you there that's really contributed to my success. So in honor of that, I will be capping today's interaction here at 25 minutes, so I can get to the meeting I have to get to. And Neenan says, hello, Dr. Steve, I'm watching you, but the thing is I am a little bit sleepy because it's 2:36 in the morning here now. Wow. Well, I might suggest then that you switch to one of my hypnosis recordings then, since it's 2:36 a.m. and you should be asleep. June Ann says, hi, good morning, Doc. Hello to you. Terry has joined. Boon Wing says, good night. All right, good night. And Teresita says, hi, Dr. Steve. Hello to you. Zori says, hi, good morning. And hi, good morning, Rimini. And Boonjureng sends 3 hearts. Thank you. And McGillis says, good afternoon, Dr. Steve. And Kevin says, how is hypnosis helping you these days? What's new? Hypnosis is helping me by helping me lose weight. Thanks for asking, Kevin. Kevin, again, an artist in Los Angeles, very good guy. Kevin, if you have a website, go ahead and please put it on here. I'm a big fan of Kevin and his work, and he's been very helpful for me over the years, just giving me all kinds of good ideas. So, Kevin, if I can return the favor and give a shout out for you here, just go ahead and post your website if there is one. And what's new these days? I've worked on weight loss, and okay, so Kevin's website is Kevin Wright, KevinWright.com. Just a great guy, outstanding artist, and I don't get anything for promoting Kevin's website. He's just a good guy. He's been a good friend. He's helped me come up with some really good ideas over the years. So I wanted to, pay that forward, and so Kevin, KevinWright.com. Check that out. Just an outstanding artist there in California. So to answer your question, Kevin, I've been working on weight loss. I'm losing weight myself. I've lost about 25 pounds in the last few months using my weight loss recording. I've used my I love to exercise recording to get myself in the exercise mode and the exercise vibe. So that's been very helpful. It's paid off in reducing fat, building muscle, and just having that desire to continue on. And as with anyone starting any exercise program or, quote unquote diet, I know people don't like that word, but call it what you will. You know what we're talking about, changing the way you eat. I suggest doing something you can do forever. So that's what I aim for. Something, food that tastes good to me, not just food that I'm eating while I'm losing weight and then I stop eating that food. No, I'm talking about food that lasts, food that I can eat forever. I change it up, of course, but so I don't eat things that are, that I find disgusting, or I could, of course, use hypnosis if I did, but I eat foods that I enjoy and that are also good for me. So Kevin says, thanks, Steve. You are welcome, Kevin. Thank you. And McGilla says, I am at salon trying to make my legs look as good as yours. All right, at the salon, huh? Well, I do my leg shaping at the gym, so you may want to switch locations for that. Donna says, hey, Dr. Steve, come to South Carolina. Been there many times. I love the place. Wonderful, wonderful area. No plans to go back there anytime soon. I don't have any seminars or anything going on in the southeastern United States. Perhaps Florida. We might set up some in Florida. And Ida says, how are you today? I'm great, Ida. Thank you very much. And if you're just joining me, I'll be here for the next 15 minutes. And go ahead and like this. Go ahead and share this with your friends. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. Click on a little button up here somewhere that says notifications. You'll know when I'm on next. So when I come on early like I do today, or late like I did on Wednesday because Obama was talking, then you'll be notified. You won't have to wonder when I'm coming on. Your phone or computer will let you know. And let's see, Christine says, hi, Dr. Steve. Have a great holiday weekend. Thanks for helping. Yep, it is 4th of July coming up on, what would that be? Monday, I believe, if my math is right. 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Yep. Monday will be the 4th of July, so thank you. And I hope everyone has a good, safe 4th of July in America. And even if you're not in America, just have a good Monday. And I will be back on Monday. I will be doing a special 4th of July broadcast. Nothing remarkably special about it, except it will be on the 4th of July, and I'll be in a very festive mood, and hopefully you will too. And let's see, Christine says, have a great holiday weekend. Thanks for keeping it real. Well, thank you. And Michelle says, Steve, talking about smoothies, have you tried making them with black currants? This is one of the highest sources of vitamin C. I have not. Not only that, but I don't know offhand what a black currant is, even though I've heard of it and I'm sure I've seen it in the past, and I've probably had it in the past, but I will look into that. Thank you. Neelan says, good morning, sir. I try your smoothie. Tastes really good. A lot of smoothie talk here. Tastes really good. Can you share some other smoothie recipes like mixture fruit and vegetables? Thank you. Absolutely. I've got a bunch of recipes in the book Power of Thin that I wrote with my good friend Frank Mangano, consumer health advocate Frank Mangano. That's called Power of Thin. You can just Google Steve G. Jones Power of Thin and you'll find it and check it out. A lot of recipes. Frank and I made sure that we loaded it up with recipes in the back when we were done because we wanted people to have some real takeaway from it, not just some ideas about losing weight and so forth, but what can I do in practical terms to lose weight? And so I myself can testify rather to the fact that it does work because I've been applying those things in my life diligently for the past 6 months. When I realized I was a little bit overweight, I wanted to lose weight, so I started turning to hypnosis and Power of Thin. And the website is powerofthin.com, so that makes it easy to find. So thank you for asking, Neelan. And Miss Rowley says, you look good, Steve. I need to lose 5 kilograms. Being an American, I'm not sure how that translates into pounds, but check out the book. Check out powerofthin.com or just Google it and you can find it on Amazon. I believe if you request it, you can get it in your bookstore. I think bookstores don't normally carry it, but if you want to get it through a bookstore, you can request it. And there you go. And he says, hi, Dr. Steve. I hope you're doing well. Absolutely, doing great. Ida says, you have claustrophobic hypnosis. I'm so happy. Going to try it. Absolutely. I have a hypnosis recording for claustrophobia. I know a lot of people suffer from that, and it keeps them from doing things like getting on elevators, sometimes keeps them from flying. Sometimes people get unrealistic ideas about the probability of something going wrong, and it becomes so big in their mind that it stifles their life. So I'm pleased to have recordings to help people overcome things such as claustrophobia. And Debbie says, hi, Dr. Steve. Hope you have a great July 4th. Well, thank you. Christian says, Maria wants more smoothie recipes. All right. Well, tell Maria to get the book Power of Thin, and she should be all set. Booning Yang says, good night. Good night to you. Ida says, Happy Canada Day to my fellow Canadians. All right, I was unaware of Canadian Day, but I do have a lot of Canadian friends. As you might know, I just spent some time in Canada. It's my third trip to Canada. I was on the Niagara Falls side of Canada, on the eastern side, which is really all I've visited. I've visited Toronto and Montreal, so I've been all on the eastern side, but I hear the western side is really nice too, so I will have to check that out sometime. Doris says, Doris, ship has not had time to open up free stuff, but thanks. Have sister in critical condition in Baylor Hospital, Dallas, Texas, so can't get my head wrapped around much. I understand that. I do want to know if you have tapes for germophobics. I spelled that wrong, I know. Okay, no problem. And I do appreciate everybody who is, I don't believe that this is your case, Doris, but a lot of people I realize are not native speakers of English, and I realize you're not native typers of English. Again, Doris, I don't believe this is your case. I just was reminded of this when you mentioned that you might have spelled that wrong. And I want to say that I appreciate everyone who's not a native speaker of English typing in English. Sometimes it can be difficult for me to read what you say and figure it out, but that's okay. Because if you asked me to speak your language or type your language, I would have a very, very difficult time. So thank you so much, and just continue to share and ask your questions, and I really appreciate that. So Doris, to answer your question, I do not have a recording for germophobia per se. So I do have one for OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, which may be what you have. Of course, your first line of defense is always your medical doctor. I am simply a hypnotherapist with a doctorate in education. I am not a licensed therapist. I am not a medical doctor, so I am not able legally to diagnose anything. So that's why before using any hypnosis recording, you want to go to a medical doctor, find out what they think is the situation, and then proceed accordingly with their blessings. They may want to put you on some medication. They may recommend long-term therapy. You can mention hypnosis. They may think that's a wonderful idea. So you can do that in addition to the care that you will receive from a medical doctor. But realize that medical doctors are under, now some people don't like medical doctors, I understand that, but medical doctors are under requirements, federal requirements, at least in the United States, and I imagine that's worldwide within their countries, to abide by certain standards. There's a standard of care, so you can be assured of that with a medical doctor. So that's why I always recommend them as your first line of defense when something's going on. So thank you for that, Doris. And Ulysses says, Dr. Steve, have you ever visited South Texas, the Rio Grande Valley? I visited Texas. I don't believe I recall the Rio Grande Valley, but maybe if you can tell me which. I've been to Austin, I've flown through Dallas, I believe Houston also. I drove through the state one time, drove all the way across. When I moved from Florida to Los Angeles in the year 2000, I drove across Texas. I don't recommend that because Texas is a wonderful state, but if you drive across it, a little boring. It's flat, not a lot going on. You just kind of power through it, just kind of drive through. Now, luckily, I went to San Antonio, I remember that, and I caught Cinco de Mayo in San Antonio. How lucky is that? I caught the Jazz Fest in New Orleans, just by coincidence. Caught the Jazz Fest in New Orleans on my drive across the country, and Cinco de Mayo in San Antonio. And when I got to San Antonio, there were all these people yelling and running around, and I thought, what is going on here? And I realized it was Cinco de Mayo. It hadn't even clicked. And there I was in a great place to celebrate it. So Texas has a lot of wonderful things. I just don't recommend driving through it. And thank you for that, Ulysses. I don't know if I've been to the Rio Grande Valley, but let me know which city that would encompass. Yelena says, hello from Ukraine. Hi, Dr. Steve. What do you think about self-hypnosis? Thank you. Well, self-hypnosis, I have very strong opinions on that, just as I do with everything with hypnosis, because I am primarily a hypnotherapist. Some people say that all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. And I agree with that, essentially. I mean, we're talking semantics here, but all hypnosis happens in your mind, whether someone's externally telling you you're going into hypnosis or whether you're saying that you're going into hypnosis. It's all, we can say it's all self-hypnosis. Now, where I have a challenge with self-hypnosis is if you decide that, okay, I don't want to go to a hypnotherapist, don't want to listen to a recording, I'm going to hypnotize myself because I want to be in charge. And that's usually the type of person who wants to do self-hypnosis. And that's fine. Except that when you self-hypnotize yourself, you are the hypnotherapist and you're the patient. You're playing both roles. So if you get so relaxed in hypnosis because of yourself, putting yourself into hypnosis, and you go to sleep, we understand that sleep is just a lower state of hypnosis, a more relaxed state, a deeper state of hypnosis. But if you do fall asleep, that means the hypnotherapist has fallen asleep. Nobody's getting hypnotized at that point. So what I recommend, rather than saying I'm going deeper now and so forth, I recommend putting that in a recording. Make a recording of that and listen to that. That way, if you fall asleep, the recording still plays and your ears stay open, because we know that the stages of sleep are just the stages of hypnosis. There's not a separate scale for hypnosis. So it's actually okay if you quote unquote fall asleep. But if you're the hypnotherapist also, imagine going to a hypnotherapist's office and the hypnotherapist falls asleep. So that's the risk you run when you actually do self-hypnosis live and you're talking to yourself. So what I recommend, Yelena, and thank you for the question, is that if you want to do self-hypnosis, that you first of all get certified in hypnosis so you know what you're doing, and then you make a recording for yourself. Don't worry about it being a perfect recording. Make sure you pronounce everything perfectly, but if you think, oh, I left something out, I should have added something, don't worry about that. You can always make a different recording another day. And then when you make your recording, listen to it. Put you to sleep. Okay, so we have, let's see, moving on here. If you're just joining, by the way, I've got 3 minutes left and I've got to get to a meeting. I'm honored to get to the meeting, actually. People say, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. The things in my life are just awesome. They're just wonderful. I'm honored to be part of the meeting coming up. Going to be having a meeting with some people from different parts of the United States, New York, Florida, probably Texas, and we're all going to get together and we're going to put our minds together and figure out how we can promote my hypnosis recordings more effectively so that we can reach more people like you and get the word out there about the subconscious mind. So I'm actually honored to be part of this high power group that's very interested in promoting my recordings. And so that's going to happen in about 2.5 minutes. So let's see. Annie, hello. I'm doing well. Sherven says, Dr. Steve, when we reprogram ourselves for abundance with hypnosis, should we bother about overspending also? Absolutely. If you're making more money, but it's all going out, then what's the point? It's kind of like when I had my office in Beverly Hills. I had a lot of expenses. I had my place in Marina Del Rey. I had my office in Beverly Hills. I was making a lot of money, but a lot of it was going right back out because of these expenses. And that's not even considering wasting money, entertainment. That's just cost of living expenses. So absolutely, you've got to look at it from both ends. You can make more, but if you're still, blowing money on things that you don't need, or you're overspending, you're not putting money away, then what's the point? So great question. Yes, when you work on abundance, you do have to deal with overspending. Big challenge. If you're going to build wealth, you've got to look at your expenditures. I have a friend who did that recently. He had about 3 cars that he had on lease, and each of them was a luxury car, about $130,000 each. He was leasing them, so he had an expense of about $4,500 a month, and he's just one person. He can only drive one vehicle at a time. He finally looked at that and said, no more. That's about $60,000 a year going away. I'm not going to do that anymore. Not to say that wouldn't be perfectly fine with someone whose income was different, but for this particular friend, it didn't make any sense, and he saw that, so he made that change, and that was part of him building abundance. So now he's actually got a positive net worth, where actually at that point he had a negative net worth, and he wasn't really paying attention to it because, you know, you get caught up and, oh, I've got this, I've got that. No, you really don't have that. That has you. That owns you. So you have to realize, you have to take a good hard look at reality sometimes and do the real math. Okay, so thank you for that question. I appreciate that. I appreciate all the questions. So Shervin, that was the final question. Unfortunately, we are at the 25-minute mark. I have got to go because I've got to get to a meeting real quick, go through a few people. Elisa, hello. Celia, hello. Brenda, Ida, Christian, Emigilla, Sandra, Doris, Angie, May, Michelle, Francois, I believe, Ida, Carmen, Paul, Tangi, Carmen, and Kevin, of course, and Jahira, and Isabella, hello, hello, hello. And unfortunately, I've got to say goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. So I will look forward to joining everyone Monday. And I hope everyone has a great weekend. Looking forward to the 4th of July. Remember to make it safe, make it smart, but make it fun. I'm Dr. Steve G. Jones, hoping you have an outstanding day.